back, everybody.
I'm always eating a couple of giant crumpet this morning.
Yeah, you're always eating now, aren't you?
Beautiful day.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely glorious day today. Finally, we get nice, actual summer weather.
A bit of summer. It's 9 o'clock and we've had 7 boats.
Yeah. Weren't woken up too early. Well, I say too early, 7:30. Just, alright. The main link between the north and the south canals. There is other links, but most people take this one because it's the easiest one. But the only reason I'm taking this is because it's a long way out of our way if we take the Leicester line. We have to come back down on the Coventry anyway.
Yeah.
Because this is the North Oxford and the Coventry, it joins the Coventry Canal.
And this is beautiful. The north, I love the North and the South Oxford. I love it all.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, you can see why. And there's only 3 locks as well, so well, 3 locks to the Ashby, and then
there's bound to be a few.
Yeah, there is. We just had a boat overtake us just before I set off, and I can already see 2 more heads coming our way. There's gonna be a lot of boats there. It's gonna be crazy. And Hillmorton is gonna be probably a long wait, but it'll be the last time we have to queue this summer for locks.
Yeah, well, there's no locks on the Ashby. That's the beauty of the Ashby.
With a big break.
And the Ashby is
6 weeks.
It's only got one like town really. It's lovely. We love the Ashby. One of our favourites, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it is one of our favourites. Top 5. Chesterfield's probably my favourite. Dad's gone to work and he'll be back. Well, we got to cruise 30 miles to the Ashby. We're going to do it in 2 days, maybe 3, we'll see. So I think we're going to cruise about 13 miles today and 17 miles Monday. But it's on the brink of school holidays now.
I said, why can't we do it in 3 days? But Josh don't want to cruise at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
I might cruise for Saturday, we'll see. Anyway, let's go.
Well, this is the map of the UK Canal network. Everything in red is what we've cruised before, and we're here down on the North Oxford Canal near Braunston. We'll be starting today's cruise at Bridge 85. We'll head down to Hillmorton, we'll do the 3 locks there, and then through Rugby, through some beautiful countryside, past Brinklow, and then to Colehurst Farm, where we're more up. Making the cruise about 15 miles and 3 locks. Let's do it. We enter a bit of a deep cutting now as the canal goes through a hill, but the original canal would have looped around this hill beginning here. Today we'll be cruising on the North Oxford Canal, a canal with a very deep and interesting history. So the original act was in 1769, and to cut a long story short, it was eventually built over the course of about 20 years, finally reaching Oxford in 1790. This was because there was at several points the company ran out of money and they had to have further acts to raise more money. The idea was to link London to the Midlands, but it would join to the Thames, which was quite far away from London, upstream at Oxford. And for the next 15 years, it was the most important and profitable transport link in England. But then the Grand Junction Canal, a much more direct route, which it just came off of, was proposed and completed in 1805, effectively taking almost all of the traffic from the South Oxford Canal because it was a lot easier to get to London and safer because you didn't have to go on the Thames, taking the Grand Union. But as this was a very early canal, it followed the contours of the land, which are all the green, squiggly lines. Although from Napton to Coventry was only 16 miles as the crow flies, this canal was 43 miles. That's how much it followed the contours, making it a very windy and long journey. It didn't really matter when it was the only canal from the south to the Midlands, but when the Grand Union came in, and the railways are starting to come in, this was becoming a big issue. So in 1827, the northern section of the Oxford Canal was resurveyed to try and find a way to straighten it and reduce the navigational time. And the work to straighten the canal was started in 1831 and finished in 1834, reducing the distance by about 15 miles. They didn't bother straightening the southern Oxford Canal because, of course, the Grand Union Canal took the majority of the traffic, so it was worthless. And today I'll be showing you exactly where the canal used to come off, the original canal, and showing you what the route would have looked like. It's a very, very interesting cruise, and I hope you enjoy. This is where the original canal would have come off here, and part of it still is in water, funny enough, used by a fishery, as you can see on the satellite imagery. Well, this is Barbie Marina, and the original canal would have come off here as well, and you can technically cruise a little bit of that because part of the water in Barbie Marina is the original line. As you can see by the satellite imagery, the canal would have come off here in sort of an S shape and then came on a little bit further on. What's interesting though is the canal would have gone in between those buildings there, the houses being on opposite sides of the canal. had to meet a boat where there was a protruding tree, didn't we? This, of course, is showing the history of rugby, the sport I mean, because rugby was invented here. It had been around for a little while, but the rules for it were written at rugby school in 1845. If you don't feel like going through the Hillmorton locks, there's some nice moorings here. There's also some more moorings just here, which are just before the lock. Just be prepared, because as soon as you turn this corner, you're right at Hillmorton. It's literally on a bend, you can't tell you're coming up to it. In the 1830s, when the straightening had been done, Hillmorton locks were the next thing, because they were causing a bit of congestion, a bit of a bottleneck. So the decision was made to duplicate them, or twin the existing locks at Hillmorton, creating 3 pairs of 2 parallel locks, which allowed twice the traffic to pass the lock at any time. The work to double the locks was completed in August 1840, and in 1842 nearly 21,000 boats passed through. That must have been the peak. It actually remained extremely busy along this canal until the 1960s, where most traffic by then was gone. But at that time, the leisure industry was just starting up, so this canal never faced closure. What's interesting though is most boatmen actually preferred horse traction, and only 1 in 30 boats along this canal in the 1930s were actually using mechanical power. But there was one narrowboat carrying coal on the Oxford Canal, which was drawn by a mule until 1959 and was the last horse-drawn freight narrowboat in Britain.
Sir. Morning.
There is bins, an Alsam point and water just below the locks here, and there is plenty of mooring space too.
I'm eating again, yeah. Sorry.
We're through Hillmorton.
Very lucky.
Yeah, we got quite lucky. No queuing. And yeah, that's the volleys at the end. How many boats was there? Oh yeah, 12 boats today. And they asked him what the record was. He said 146 on a hot Friday. I said, yeah, it's a bit like today, isn't it? Not quite. 146. Oh, Jesus. We've never ever had anywhere near 100 boats even come past us.
Except in June, on a hang off them. And that was October half term.
Yeah. Thinking that's why I want to get through the summer, just before summer holidays. Because I reckon once the hybrids come out this weekend, it's going to be busy.
We
But
keep
yeah.
topping ourselves up with suntan cream, it's very hot.
God, don't I sweat though. For God's sake, you see my back.
We can't moan. we moan that it's cold and we moan that it's hot.
Yeah.
Never happy.
Well, we're British, aren't we? We'll moan, but no more locks
They're
now.
open it, wouldn't they?
No more locks until early September. Well, we've got one more. We've got a stop lock
Oh.
at Hawkesbury. That's only about one.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's get through
Enjoy
Rugby.
the rest of the cruise.
Bridge 69. Don't titter, missus.
Well, this is the Clifton Cruiser hire base here, and you can stop if you want to get rid of your rubbish, which you probably have to pay for, water and diesel, and pump out and gas.
Hello.
This old arm here is where the original canal would have gone on a massive loop. As you can see by this satellite imagery, it was quite big, and this embankment cut off a lot, but not as much as the next one.
Yeah. That's the last 29er.
This is about where the canal would have come back on, and as you can see, that was a lot shorter than doing a massive contour section. Although I know which one I would have preferred, and that's doing the contour. They're alright, these cuttings and embankments, but they are half boring.
Sean Connery.
Well, this is about the most popular spot to moor in Rugby, and there's lots of moored boats either side, and it's quite windy for the North Oxford Canal. And as you can see, we can't really see where we're going. I think the CRT was actually thinking about removing the rings here because there's been so many crashes and collisions. We were just trying to get through here without seeing another boat, and thankfully we did. There is a water point here, and it's a good stop-off place to go shopping, and you can moor either side. It does feel rude when you blast your horn when you're going past moored boats, especially both sides, but it's kind of necessary. I'd rather be safer than sorry, you know. As although we did get round the corner without seeing a boat, there was one coming through the bridge. That down there is the original route of the canal, and a lot of it is still in water for a good chunk, and you can walk along it if you want to, and I wish I kind of did actually. It would be nice to explore, but I think it remains open as a feeder. But if we look at the satellite imagery, this is the biggest loop there would have been. I mean, it was massive, and the shortening they did of this would have saved a lot of time. But I do kind of wish that they actually maintained the loops as well, a bit like the main line on the BCN. You can navigate which one you want, but obviously that cost money, and they did not want to do that. We're now back to where the canal would have come on, and it wouldn't have followed this route. It cut straight across, and that bit you can actually navigate down there because there is some moorings, but it went straight off into another big loop. Oh my god, what are the odds of this happening again? There's another water point just here, and rubbish. You can also moor there, and there's a nice pub too. But funny enough, the canal would have actually gone alongside that pub in another loop. And the Newbold tunnel is just coming up, but there was an old Bold tunnel, funny enough, because yeah, they abandoned that tunnel, and you would have thought they wouldn't have done that, but they did, because it's such a big loop. But you can actually go and see the old tunnel if you want to, it's still there. So this is the Newbold tunnel, completed in 1829, at 250 metres long, and it has a towpath too, which the original wouldn't.
It's been ditched. I was going to do it in a second. Oh. Landslide. Not a landslide.
And this is where the canal would have come back in after looping around the hill. At this little wharf hire base you can get yourself some diesel, 108, but don't use that as a reference because this footage is, you know, 2.5 months old now. You can also get pumper and water here.
I think someone's reversing into the marina down there. Or they're winding.
Looks like someone's trying to take the original route of the canal down there. What they were coming out of was a little marina down there, which uses part of the old line of the canal.
Black Prince. No. Yeah, no. Fender's caught in the bramble. The fender's holding you in, Mum, at the moment.
What was it?
Oh, it's let go now.
We're entering a cutting now, but the canal would have originally looped round this hill and actually forms part of the Brinklow marina, which will reach further down. Over half of this, as you can see by the satellite imagery, is still in water. It's just a shame though that there isn't one that is fully, you know, navigable still. It would be nice to do one loop. This is of course the entrance to Brinklow Marina and part of the old line, which made building and putting a marina down there a very easy thing to do. This is a lovely place to moor because it's nice and wide and very open and beautiful. This is where the canal would have come off in another quite big loop and actually gone through the village of Brinklow. But with a new canal, it never went through Brinklow. But originally you could have and gone past Brinklow Castle. Another interesting thing about this loop is the fact that if it was still open, the whole thing with, you know, the collapse and landslide of Brinklow cutting further down, which happened in the spring, you could have just taken the loop and obviously just bypassed it. Of course, that is not the case. You know, I mean, if we had all the money in the world, it would be nice. This is another very popular and quite nice place to moor here too, and you got parking down there of course, as you've just seen.
Still closed.
So it looks like the towpath is still closed down here from the landside, and we're just going past it now and they're actually still working on it. But this was a massive landslide due to all the wet weather we had in the spring, and you know, there was several all over, especially on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal too. But it's just started to show the effects of global warming, because these canals have been here for 200 years and it hasn't been happening in the past. Well, not much, but it just seems to happen every year now. But of course this closed the canal for several months and cut off one of the main trunk routes of the canal network. A very, very busy route. A lot of people had to divert and go through Birmingham or down the Leicester line. And this is where the big Brinklow loop would have come off, and as you can see, just past the landslide. Could have easily been diverted if that canal was restored.
Oh, thank you. Lots of ducklings today, we see.
This is another hire base here called Rose Narrowboats. You can get, your usual diesel, pump out, rubbish, water. As you can see, that arm down there was part of the original canal where it went into another loop, and it is navigable for quite a way, but just uses private moorings again. There is a CRT water point just past the swing bridge too. Just look at how many trains came past when we were just cruising past. I can imagine living right next to a train track like that.
Christ, that's loud.
Oh, don't. It reminds me of the van. That one's still bloody going. I reckon our one had a bath in salt water for 5 bloody years.
God. Right, made it to our mooring.
Beautiful mooring.
13, 14, I don't know, something like
13 or 14 miles.
that.
It's fine, guys, because it's when you haven't got, we only had those 3 locks. It's fine, but it's just start doing the boat and it's hot, really hot.
29 degrees.
I think that's why we didn't. Well, we still saw quite a few boats, but not as many as we have done.
Before, yeah.
Oh, they're eager to get out, I expect, because it's probably hot in the boat.
But we've picked here because back there you had the railway right on the canal.
And you got all that you couldn't. And they've got all these more boats.
But the M6 down there, I wanted some more back there by the bridge, but as you saw, there wasn't a single spot. And we
It's
don't
alright.
need the car, so
We have got the railway just here. But
yeah. It gets closer down there, and it goes into a deep cutting,
yeah.
and then you're at Anstey. Anstey's really, really busy with. It's got Armco, but there's loads of more boats. There's a pub. There's
Yeah.
probably lots of dog
Let's
walkers.
hope the train isn't too noisy tonight.
But yeah, we're just on pins here. There's a boat catching us up, and you know we cruise quite fast. Obviously not past moored boats. That's where they were catching us up.
But he was
But yeah, there's a subscriber.
lovely guy.
He was a boat mover.
Yeah, he's a boat mover.
That's why he's moving fast. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't give boat movers the benefit of doubt, really. It's their
Yeah,
job, it's their
moving that-
livelihood.
And apologies to you if you're watching, because we were told to leave the
Oh yeah, yeah.
we were told to leave that swing bridge open. So if you think we didn't shut
And then they had to shut it behind us.
it, yeah, we were told to leave it open. The guy said, "Oh, leave it open." I said, "Okay." And I thought, "Oh, you'd be spitting and cursing because the person with you had to get off and
Yeah.
shut it," but it was genuine. We were told to leave it open.
Yeah, so we're going to stay here for the weekend because it's actually a lovely
Yeah.
quiet spot.
Yeah, nice.
See Coventry from here. Lovely fields, plenty of solar. Although, it's a bit hot though, really. There's a nice tree there.
Yeah.
So Mum can get a chair there
Might
if she
put my
wants.
seat there at the weekend. Yeah, might put my seat out.
Yeah, we had
It's a
some
nice gentle breeze at the moment. So
Close calls today, and
Yeah.
but we got through it. We're going to stay over the weekend,
Yeah.
and then Monday we're going to cruise to Marston Junction onto the Ashby Canal.
quite a long way.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be so hot.
I don't think it's that long. I think I overestimated 17 miles. I think it's less than that.
Oh, no locks, so
Yeah.
shouldn't
Well,
take too
apart from
long.
the stop lock.
So,
Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.